So let's talk about some of the examination problems on these three subtopics which are related, which is variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. And this is kind of the last part of the statistics topic from an exam standpoint of view, and we are talking about specifically MSBTE, first year diploma maths, paper code 22103 for I scheme. And this topic is very important in terms of the weightage and the ease of scoring. So let's stay tuned and pay attention. And like I said before in all my previous episodes on statistics, specifically from an exam standpoint of view, the official mark, although it's given, the weightage is given as 14 marks, but you will for sure get questions worth anywhere between minimum 16 marks and it can go up to 20 marks. So let's at least assume that 16 marks might come. And if you see overall statistics, there are three types of problems. We can divide the whole statistics syllabus into three types of problem: type 1, type 2, and type 3. So the range and coefficient of range we have covered, mean and mean division we have covered. And in today's episode, or starting this episode and the next few episodes, we're going to talk about the type 3 problems, which includes the three subtopics: variance, SD, and coefficient of variation. And in terms of just the weightage for just this type 3 problems among these three subtopics, you will see the weightage is anywhere between 12 to 15 marks, and that's a huge weightage. So you should absolutely do not miss this topic or subtopic, and you cannot afford to miss it. And don't miss it, it's easy to score. And if you see here, I've just extracted all the problems that belong to type 3 from the last 4 question papers and I pasted it, and we will go in the next 3 episodes or so. I'll cover all of that. And the way we'll cover this, even if you see the pattern on these three subtopics or on type 3 kind of on this particular area, there are three kind of variations of problem comes, and I'll take each variation in a different episode and solve so that you can relate it. The first variation will be they'll be giving you, it will be for 2 marks, and you'll be always in question number 1, the first set. So they'll give you a mean. So there are three things: mean, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. So they'll give you one of these items and you have to find the other. So mostly they'll give you mean and SD, the standard deviation, and you have to find the CV, which is the coefficient of variation. That's how you'll get. For example, you see here, you got this problem. If you see in summer 2018, I don't think you had it, but in winter 2018, if you see here, the same set of problems. So there will be a lot of variations on this one. So that will be the first variation we will see. The second variation we will see is kind of this kind of questions. For example, they'll give you a simple 2 set observations and they'll ask to find which set is more consistent. And we have seen this as a part of the CV, coefficient of variation. And the interesting thing is you'll definitely get this question. And the interesting thing is in the last 4 years or the 4 years paper set, 3 times the exact same question without any change in numbers kind of repeated. If you see 82.5 and 7.3 and 48.5, 75 and 8.3, the same question, it's here. Okay. Again in summer 20, it's here. 2019, it's here. Okay. Again, the next paper is winter 2018, it's here. Sorry. And the only one time it changed was for summer 2018, where the question was same, the numbers were different. But again in 2017, the question got repeated with the exact same numbers. See, so this question for some reason is repeated, so you might as well kind of mug up the answer and just get your 3 or 4 marks. So that will be a variation number 2. So let me write it down here. So this kind of questions where you have a 2 marks, this will be variation 1. Finding the consistency will be kind of a variation 2. And the third variation we'll cover in a different episode is this things where they ask you to find the mean, the SD, and the CV, and they'll give you either a group data. There'll be 2 variations of this. In one section they'll give you group data, and both the questions will come. And in other question they'll give you ungrouped data, which is the raw data itself without any grouping, and you have to just find a standard deviation or something of that sort. So just one part for 4 marks with ungrouped data, and then you'll get a 6-mark question where you'll have to find all the 3: mean, SD, and coefficient of variance, but you'll be given a group data. So there'll be a few steps that you need to follow here. And these 2 these two kind of variations will cover in one episode. So there will be this is the third variation. So the total they will be covering three variations in three different parts of this videos. And let's get started on all this. And like I said, pay attention because the weightage is kind of huge on this. So don't miss this. Okay. So this was the part 1. So you'll be having part 2, 3 and 4, I think, for the three variations. And I'll see you in those episodes.